A very good morning to you. My name is David Batsoffen, and I host a travel blog called Travel and Things. But today I'm not wearing that hat. Today I'm wearing content provider for FGASA, and I'm chatting to Michelle du Plessis, who is the managing, which is Swahili for managing director of FGASA. Michelle, good morning. Welcome to you.
Good morning, David.
And you were worried about
Thank you.
making mistakes.
Well, we'll just have to wing it as we go along.
All right, so where does lockdown find you currently?
Well, I'm working sort of part-time from home, not part-time, full-time from home remotely.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go into the office twice a week. We've put our staff onto limited staff and limited hours, so we are rotating on a roster. We can operate as an essential service because we're able to distribute educational materials, so that's good.
Great stuff. Now, FGASA, which is the Field Guides Association of South Africa, for those people who don't know, looks after guides in Southern Africa. And you now, with this lockdown, you've started a fund in order to help them. Tell us a bit about that, how you're hoping it's going to operate and what you're hoping to raise.
David, the main reason obviously for the fund is to help guides. So FGASA fulfills two functions. Our first function is that we set standards and qualifications for guides, specifically field guides, nature guides, walking guides, and culture guides, and marine guides. And then the second part of our function is as an association. So to be able to do that, we need the members to be able to help FGASA get those standards up and to provide those qualifications.
Right.
So with COVID-19, I mean, it's placed all guides in a crisis scenario. And we found many guides without work at the moment. Well, not by choice. They're not able to work because tourism has come to an absolute standstill, domestic and international, as we all know. And it's quite scary when you hear the reports and sort of the plans going forward. That's not in the near future. You know, it's not going to be open in the near future. So long term, it has massive effects on our guides. So we put our heads together and decided that as FGASA, we would start a fund to raise money to help these guides.
So the fund is already active?
The fund is active, and initially, you know, when we thought about how this would work, obviously all the protocols are in place. It's auditable, etc., etc., and the money will go to the guides. So the guides will have a choice on this. Mm-hmm. The initial thought was to try and help them fund their subs to be able to stay, you know, as active as a member. We've able to offer payment holidays for the guides. We've put all of that in place. So the initial idea was to help them do that, but the secondary idea on that was also that we're able to give them some money. So we've re-looked at that and we've decided whatever we raise, we're going to split equally amongst our active guides, and they will receive that, and then they can decide. They can either have it as a credit with us or pay their subs or buy food, however we're able to help them.
Michelle, just as a matter of interest, how many active FGASA members are there?
We have about between 5,500 to 6,000 guides that are active, that are paid up and in support of FGASA. And so we've got a healthy membership. There are a lot more that have dropped off, and obviously our aim is that they don't drop off,
right?
Because we're hoping that they are in the industry and stay in the industry. And I mean, a lot go on to become training providers, assessors, and many of them open up their own businesses. So there's a great network of that. It could be a lot more, and we have a lot more on our membership database.
Yep.
But obviously, active ones are the ones that, you know, are currently in the system. And
what has the feedback been so far?
The feedback has been great. I mean, there's always, it's been fantastic. I mean, we've had validations from everywhere. saying how fantastic this is. We've had sponsors come back to us that, that are involved in our Safari Guide of the Year competition,
Right.
coming to say, how can we help? So overall, it's been absolutely brilliant. And we've raised quite a bit already since last week. But again, there's always going to be those that are not in support of it. FGASA has always fielded those questions and has always had to deal with that negativity, which is sad, but obviously it's people's right, they're able to do that.
I suppose the haters always hate.
Of course.
What do they say if you're not pissing somebody off, you're not doing it right?
So we try our best to obviously handle those scenarios. And remember, at the end of the day, the FGASA community is voluntary. It's not forced upon anybody. It's by choice. And all those guides that are active within the system want to be part of FGASA. And it's just brilliant to have that support. So the majority, definitely it's in support.
Michelle, how long will this program run? If you've got, let's say you start to raise money and by the end of June, you have X amount. Will you start dispersing that money, or are you going to wait until a particular date and then dish out to the active members?
So, David, I think what we want to do obviously is raise as much as possible.
Right.
It would be not great to have, and there must be an impact. So if we only have X amount for June, it's really going to be, it's not going to be adequate. We don't feel. So we would like to run it for as long as COVID is in operation, and even thereafter, because as I said, tourism is only going to kick in, they're saying December, January. That's 7 months away, and that's crazy. So, but look, if we get a huge amount of support in a very short time, we can definitely start splitting that out and paying that over.
One really nice corporate sponsor would be great. Those people that were going to come to the party for Safari Guide of the Year 2020, which is now probably going to be Safari Guide of the Year 2020/2021, could maybe...
Exactly. So the corporate sponsors, we would welcome that, and it would help us a lot.
Yeah. If people want to donate, listening to us or viewing this interview, how do they go about doing so? Is there a website that they can go to, banking details? How do they find that?
David, we've tried to keep it as electronic as possible.
Right.
So you can go directly onto the FGASA website. We've created a special tab called the Guide Fund. Anybody can go in there and donate straight away through safe internet banking.
And there's no limit. If somebody can only afford 10 Rand, then you're prepared to accept their 10 Rand with open arms and gratefully. But if it's corporate and they want to give you R1 million, you'll take it just as graciously and gratefully.
Absolutely. Every little 10 Rand counts. And you're able to put whichever, there are some suggested amounts there just to make it easy. But you're able to donate whatever you are able to.
I do hope that eventually, sooner than later, we are able to travel. I was hanging on to the vain hope that I had a week planned in a game reserve in June, and I got the emails from the 3 lodges yesterday, all one after another, going, David, it would have been wonderful to have you, but sorry, we can't do anything at the moment. We're in lockdown until the government says we can come out.
I get messages every day, on the social platforms via email, just how the guides are they cannot wait to get back into guiding. And the irony is that they are the safest people in the industry, because of distance, because of location. And a bush lover is always a bush lover, so we are all dying to get back.
And from what I gather, the sightings have been spectacular, because there are no people in the reserves bar the core members of the lodges who are going out on drives and sending in awesome pictures.
Yeah, the footage has been incredible. Some brilliant sightings, and it's also given guides some time. Those that have been able to stay on reserves where they are required. It's given them huge opportunity. And it's also given a lot of guides time to train. We've had good support so far. Guides' schedules are always so busy. There's never free time to put in the extra time to study, and we've had such good support on that. Those that wanting to improve their FGASA qualifications have registered and have spent this time studying, which is also fantastic.
I think that's really wonderful, and all kudos to you guys for keeping this going and for starting the fund, Michelle.
Thank you. We hope, look, every little bit is going to help.
Yep.
And we need to do this. So we're really going to push hard. So we really want to appeal to every single guide to go on there, share the link, family, friends, corporates, all your contacts, all your past guests. I know guests overseas. I mean, we've already had donations from guests overseas, missing their guides, missing Africa. And this is one small way, you know, that they can help them.
I think that's wonderful. Once again, just give us the FGASA website details.
It's FGASA.co.za, and you can just go and click onto the guide tab, the guide fund tab.
Great stuff. Michelle du Plessis, who is the managing director of FGASA. Thanks very much for joining us, and I wish you all the very best with this initiative.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much.